We have all been sold a massive lie about what it takes to build a wealth. Since we were young, we were taught an equation: sweat plus time equals money. We are told that the person working the longest hours, carrying the most stress, and taking on the most risks is the one who gets the biggest reward. But I want you to look around, look at the hardest working people you know. Are they the wealthiest, or they the most exhausted? Welcome to Enter Talks. Today we are going to dismantle the illusion of the grind, and I'm going to show you where the real money actually flows. Let's talk about real estate. If you turn on the TV, what do you see? You see the dream of fix and flip. You see the hustle of the wholesaling. Let me introduce you to a guy named Timothy. Timothy is brilliant. He is ambitious. He is graduated from wholesaling into doing massive luxury flips. Right now, Timothy is buying a property for $1.4 million. He is managing the contractors. He is securing the permits. He is taking on the massive, suffocating stress on a year and a half long renovation. At any given time, Timothy has 6 of the projects going on. That means Timothy is sitting on the $20 million of debt. When you hear that, the hustle, the culture in your brains applauds him. Wow, look at Timothy go. He is a beast, but Timothy is exhausted. He is working his absolute heart out. Now let me introduce you to someone else. Let me introduce you to a woman named Lindsay. Lindsay is a real estate agent, and I don't know if you checked the stats lately, but last year 71% of real estate agents didn't sell a single house. Let that sink in. 7 out of 10 agents could not put food on the table using the traditional method. Lindsay was starving in a market that was frozen. She needed a lifeline, but instead of working harder, instead of knocking on more doors and getting more doors slammed in her face, she stepped back and asked a different question. She asked, what is the actual problem people are facing right now? The answer was not that people needed help finding houses. The answer was that guys like Timothy, the guys doing all the heavy lifting, needed capital. They needed funding to bridge the gap between their hard money loans and their renovation costs. Here is where the magic happens. Lindsay didn't have the money to fund Timothy's deal. She did not have $1 million sitting in her bank account, but she knew someone who did. She knew a private capital investor who was sitting on a cash looking for a place to deploy it. So what did Lindsay do? She picked up the phone, she called the investor and said, I have a guy named Timothy. He has a great deal, but he needs $200,000 gap loan. Can you fund it? The investor looked at the numbers, saw it was a good deal, and said, yes. In fact, the investor ended up bringing $900,000 on the table to cover the gap and the renovations. The deal closed. Timothy got to work swinging hammers. The investor made nearly $200 in interest and points. But what happened to Lindsay? For connecting those two people together, for making an introduction that took maybe 13 minutes of her time, Lindsay was paid $10,000 fee upfront. When the house sells, she gets another $10,000, $20,000 for 13 minutes of work, 0 of her own money invested, 0 credit checks, 0 nights laying awake worrying about whether the contractor showed up to the job site. I want to talk about something called the work-to-money ratio. Timothy worked for 18 months, managed a massive construction site, and looked at the $1 million in debt. The investor wired money from a laptop and went back to sleep. And Lindsay? Lindsay became the bridge. The most powerful position you can be in is not the person swinging the hammer. And honestly, it's not even always the person with the money. The most powerful scalable position is being the connector. But here is the most beautiful part of this story. It didn't end up with just one house, because Lindsay brought a great partner to that investor. The investor made a rule. Every single time Timothy does another deal with me, Lindsay gets a cut. She doesn't have to reintroduce them. She doesn't have to fill out new paperwork. She built a relationship once, and now she has a residual income pipeline. She is getting paid on the third, fourth, and fifth deal Timothy does. She is making an absolute fortune completely passively because she stopped trying to be the hero of the story and decided to be the matchmaker instead. So many of you are operating with an employee mindset. You think, I did the work, where is my paycheck? You think you have to be Timothy to be successful. You think you have to grind yourself to the bone, wholesale 50 houses, and put yourself in a crushing debt just to prove you deserve to be wealthy. You don't. There is an endless supply of Timothys out. There are hustlers who need capital, and there is an endless supply of private money sitting on the sideline starving for good deals. Your job is to step out of the grind. Your job is to stop trading your sweat for pennies and start trading your relationships for wealth. Become the bridge. Connect the problems to the solutions. That's how you build a life of absolute freedom. Thank you for watching Enter Talks. I am David Kirilluk. See you in the next video.